Good evening. I am Isabella Altick, Co-Secretary of the National Honor Society. On behalf of the advisors, officers, current members, and new members, thank you for coming to tonight's induction ceremony. Will you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated.
Hello, I'm Isabel Turner, President of the National Honor Society. Inductees, Ms. Denslow, Medal of Honor nominees, parents, families, faculty, and friends, welcome to the 2025 National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. We are gathered to formally recognize these students who have been selected by the National Honor Society Faculty Committee for successfully completing their candidacy and are being inducted as new members of Fairmont's Torch and Keystone chapter of NHS. For current members and those former members who may be among our guests, we hope that this will serve to remind you the standards of excellence you are too charged with maintaining as members of the nation's oldest, largest, and most prestigious student recognition program. Our chapter is proud to have been inducting new members since 1942, and today's ceremony indicates the continuing emphasis on excellence that we represent for our school and community. Throughout the years, members of our chapter serve as role models for other students. In addition to the strong academic records that established our eligibility for membership, our chapter members are leaders in multiple student organizations and contribute meaningfully to both our school and community. Whether tutoring students at Kettering City Schools, assisting residents at Bethany Lutheran Village, or volunteering hundreds of hours across various service opportunities, our members demonstrate a deep and lasting commitment to service. We are proud of this record and accomplishment and are excited to welcome new members who will bring fresh energy and passion to continue this important work as part of the National Honor Society. While we look ahead with anticipation to what our new inductees will contribute, we also reflect with pride on the outstanding service and leadership efforts of our graduating senior members. Each year, to fulfill national guidelines, our chapter completes a major service project. And this year's seniors chose to restore a courtyard off the cafeteria, formerly known as the Senior Dining Courtyard. But this year's project is about more than revitalizing a physical space. It's about honoring someone who has for years embodied the very spirit of the National Honor Society pillars. Through his lens, he has captured the heart of our Firebird family, Mr. Gene Peters. As our beloved and unofficial Firebird photographer, Gene has generously dedicated his time and talent to preserving the moments that define our community. With every photo, he has given Firebird students and families not just images, but memories, threads that have helped weave our community closer together. His quiet dedication and unwavering support have left a lasting mark on all of us. And so, on behalf of the entire Firebird family, it is with deep gratitude and great pride that we announce the newly restored courtyard will now and forever be known as the Gene Peters Courtyard. This dedication is a heartfelt tribute to your enduring impact, Gene, a small gesture to recognize a lifetime of generosity, connection, and service. Thank you, Gene, for being the lens through which we've seen our best moments and for being such an integral part of what makes the Firebird family truly special. Will you please rise, Gene, so we can all thank you for your extraordinary contributions to our school and community.
My name is Vivian Holmes, Vice President of National Honor Society. It is tradition that the NHS seniors select the keynote speaker for the induction ceremony. This year, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Richard Wright to deliver tonight's keynote address. If you've met Mr. Wright, you know that he is a shining light of the Fairmont Music Department. He is a fine example of a teacher who cares deeply for his students. Whether he's being a shoulder to cry on or your biggest cheerleader, Mr. Wright is there. I've had the honor of working with Mr. Wright through Fairmont's musicals, where he has the monumental job of conducting the pit while also cueing the cast. There is no one more patient and understanding. I remember struggling to find an entrance to one of my songs in Les Mis this year, and instead of giving up or getting upset, he ran it with me repeatedly until I got it. I have seen him do the same thing countless times with others, showing students grace and kindness and helping them build their confidence. Mr. Wright has found the balance of being an accomplished teacher, talented musician, and truly decent man. Mr. Wright is retiring at the end of this school year, and Fairmont will be forever in his debt. Thank you, Mr. Wright, for your service to the Firebird community, and thank you for agreeing to speak with us tonight.
Wow, thank you so much, everybody. It is so good to be here. And good evening, National Honor Society, friends, families, and most especially our recent inductees. It is a true pleasure to be with you this evening. Inductees, congratulations on this well-earned accomplishment. Tonight you are representing the 4 pillars of NHS: scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Please know that your families, your school, and your community are proud of you. Also know there's a great deal of personal responsibility that goes hand in hand with such an honor. When I was approached about addressing you this evening, the decision was easy. Not only do I admire you and your accomplishments, but this marks a transitional time in my life as well, as Vivian said. Over the President's Day weekend, I decided, along with my family, that I would step away from my life as a teacher in the Kettering City Schools and retire. This decision truly has very little to do with my affection for teaching. I enjoy teaching more than ever. Through the circumstances of life, it simply felt like the right time to move on, and that decision certainly has influenced my perspective on this evening. In considering what I may have to offer you, every cliche imaginable came to mind. Now, a cliche is defined as a phrase or opinion that is overused and betrays a lack of original thought. I personally like many cliches, as my students know well. They have been helpful to me. Cliches, as defined, may be labeled as unoriginal, but never does it say that cliches are bad in of themselves. So I'm going to double down on some of my favorite cliches here tonight. First, some perspective. My high school teaching life is coming to an end, much like our graduating seniors and their high school experience, which is ending as well. The obvious difference in our endings is that I'm much older now than when I was in high school like you. When I was your age, I don't recall how receptive I was to advice or perspective. I hope I was. What I recall is what I needed was experiences to shape me, as we all do. Nevertheless, I hope this at least stimulates some thought and considerations for you tonight. And some additional context. The last time I addressed the NHS induction ceremony, I focused on data and how the brain responds to that. It is important for me to tell you that the data regarding our youth right now is good. Even if we don't hear that often enough, you are some of the happiest, healthiest, most financially secure young people in the history of our planet. When multiple data sets are observed, we find there's a lot to be optimistic about regarding our young people. Now, a quote directly from AI. While certain challenges undoubtedly exist, data suggests a positive outlook for youth in 2025, with strong social connections, declining risky behaviors, a growing emphasis on AI literacy, which is hilarious that AI was plugging itself, and increasing investments in your well-being and future prospects. So you're doing great. So how you potentially respond to any of the upcoming cliches tonight will be shared in the light of very good news. So we'll get started with cliche number 1, look for and take advantage of your opportunities. I didn't want to be a teacher when I was growing up. I stumbled into this profession. I wanted to play second base for the Boston Red Sox. As a Boston kid, that's just what you did. At a pretty young age, though, I realized that that wasn't going to work out, so I figured being a rock star would be a good plan B. I liked to play music and then listen to records a lot. It was an obvious choice. But through a series of circumstances, I finished a degree in music education, which I started specifically so I could play music in college with my band. At that point, playing music or maybe becoming a professor were my career choices. There was a moment when I had to set up a job interview to fulfill a class requirement. And to my shock, a school district offered me a job teaching orchestra. I was a recently married man working at Arby's for $4.05 an hour and gigging when I could. By the way, minimum wage was $4 an hour, and they felt bad for me because I was married, so they gave me the extra nickel. And at that moment, though, I realized my plan A's needed some tweaking for sure, which led me to accept the position. This seemed like a path I needed to pursue. The opportunity revealed itself, and I was able to take advantage of that opportunity, and I'm grateful to this day. Such opportunities will arrive for us all in small and big ways, but be on the lookout for them. Literally hundreds of small opportunities then surfaced in my life due to that one decision, and they all needed to be reckoned with. But I now had a career that was moving forward, which will lead me into cliche number 2, which it's not about the falling down, it's about the getting up. And my students have heard that many times. Falling in life can have an impact on all of us, and sometimes it's painful. Falling is going to happen. I have had so many why did I do that, and how could I let that happen, and what is wrong with yous in my life to fill many, many novels. We are all eventually humbled in one way or another. The freedom to recover from falls, failures, and circumstances is empowering. We never stop learning, and a perceived failure in the context of learning can heal. It provides grace to your human self. How do any of us know how to parent or build relationships or do a job without daily learning and many, many perceived or actual failures? Never stop learning. Fall and get up. Fall and get up and repeat as many times as necessary. In the context of a lifetime of learning, you will find grace. Cliche number 3, your disappointments don't define you. Call them what they are, name them. They are moments that didn't work out for many potential reasons, and they certainly feel like significant moments. Getting older is truly a gift, and one of those gifts is additional perspective on disappointments. At the moment of a disappointment, it might seem overwhelming, insurmountable, or heartbreaking. My significant disappointments led me to my education. They led me to my career, and they led me to my marriage of almost 35 years. At the time, when I didn't see that perspective, they felt soul-crushing. The gift of hindsight helped so much. My disappointments made me better in every conceivable way. Your disappointments will be uniquely yours to experience, but do know time almost always helps. Cliche number 4, days are long, years are short. When my dear mother in her old age said to me that she doesn't feel all that different than when she was a young girl, I hesitated to immediately believe that. I now understand what she meant, that she felt the same on the inside. And now, as I approach 59 years of age, I get it. I don't feel that different either. The face in the mirror just looks different. I remain the same introverted, awkward high school kid that found ways to perform. I'm performing right now. I'm honest in my affection for you all, for sure. But on the inside, I remain me. Decades worth of me, and these decades don't feel like they could have possibly gone by this fast. As high school students, when you look back, you may think that elementary and middle school did not feel too long ago, or you may feel like this all went by rather quickly. That's going to feel more pronounced with age. Adulthood is around the corner. Time is relentless. The long days are going to happen, and they can be difficult, even excruciating, even glorious. Those long days do end, and they don't define your story. The journey will be found in the short years. In fact, even the idea of time is understood differently in 2025. Albert Einstein believed the idea that time can be bendy. And I love that Einstein said the word bendy, but he did, which is a concept rooted in his theory of relativity. And I'm not a scientist, and I'm clearly not Einstein, but he understood that time is not simply linear as we see it and feel it. There may be much we don't know about time, but somehow we can feel it. Which lastly leads me to cliche number 5. This is my favorite. Right now, my soon-to-be 92-year-old hero mother-in-law, who has certainly arrived at some beautiful destinations in her life, only to experience the loss of her beautiful son. The loss of the love of her life after 59 and a half years of marriage, and that half year was important to her, and it should be. She clearly expressed to me that life is about the journey and not the destination. Destinations can be good and rewarding and satisfying and necessary. But as you get older, you may realize that the open road of being a recent graduate, of creating yourself, of building something that might break, and to do that again and again, is the bulk of your lives. You should have goals and destinations in mind, but the possibilities are priceless. Life is filled with the nerves of new employment or a new relationship, or the indescribable love and responsibility of parenthood. It is about what sparks your soul. It's about what you can't live without. It's about what you can't do without. Moments and choices, redos, restarts, forgiveness, passion, excitement, rest, joy, and loss, and learning. They are all found throughout the journey. The journey moves forward. When you arrive at a destination, a new journey is just beginning. I'm currently arriving at a destination in retirement. The next step for me is to have the courage to embark on new journeys, however big or small they may be. Destinations are sometimes great and sometimes painful, but they're temporary, just like the journey itself. Embrace it all. That breath you just took is a gift, as is the next one, as is all of it. The sun continues to rise every morning, which is another cliche. So as you move onward to the next part of your lives here at Fairmont or beyond its doors, embrace the opportunities, the falling down and the getting up, and all of the disappointments, the long days and short years, and every moment of the journey and where it takes you. My wife and I have been married for 35 years next month. We have a favorite love song by the great Jason Isbell entitled "If We Were Vampires," which doesn't sound much like a love song. The song captures the truth about time. Perspective changes the way you see and experience life. Holding my wife's hand may not seem that important if I knew there would never be a last time to do that. I'm going to hold her hand tightly, knowing that it can't last forever. This helps make our very precious time together even more precious. So a final blast of cliches. I ask you to think outside of the box in an effort to show that actions speak louder than words. For all of this will happen in the nick of time and keep you from barking up the wrong tree, only to do an about-face to live the time of your lives. So please know that character, leadership, scholarship, and service matter the most when nobody's watching. So I just beat the proverbial cliche dead horse in a final cliche-riddled statement. But dearest young people, as you look ahead, may you see the extraordinary moments you are in. May you embrace your cliches as they ring true for you. May you understand life is ultimately all a gift. May you understand that you are on a sometimes difficult, often thrilling, and an inevitably beautiful journey right now. And may you understand that your part in this journey is wanted, needed, and essential, no matter where it leads. Grace and peace, and thank you for having me here this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Wright, for speaking tonight, for the positive impact you have had on the students of Fairmont throughout your illustrious career. Thank you so much. As part of the selection process, the junior candidates are asked to reflect on the NHS pillars of character, scholarship, leadership, and service, and nominate a person in their lives who has shown them the importance of living by those values. In your program, you will find the names of all those nominated for this award: parents, grandparents, siblings, teachers, coaches, and friends. These nominees played a large role in developing tonight's young inductees into the role models they are for others. Congratulations to all of the Medal of Honor nominees. Let's give them a round of applause. The writer of this year's Medal of Honor essay is Kate Mitter. Due to illness, she could not be with us in person tonight, but she was able to record this video message.
Hi, my name is Kate Mitter. I'm sorry that I was not able to attend inductions tonight, but I'm very grateful that I was still given the opportunity to speak about Coach Hip because he deserves it. John Quincy Adams once said, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader." Anyone fortunate enough to have been coached by Steve Hippenmeyer knows that this ideology encapsulates him as a person, not only because of his love for quotes, but because he embodies true leadership. Coach Hip has trained me in cross country, swimming, and track for the past 3 years. I feel incredibly fortunate to have been given the opportunity to be coached by someone willing to go above and beyond for the sake of his team. Throughout the 27 years that Coach Hip has been teaching and coaching at Fairmont, he has instilled the values of hard work, grit, and diligence amongst hundreds and hundreds of students and athletes. As a coach, Hip has an uncanny ability to make every single person on his team feel special, important, and valued. When I joined the cross-country team my freshman year, I felt apprehensive about my abilities as a runner. At best, I was an average athlete, and I didn't think highly of myself or of my future in the sport. Regardless, Coach Hip pulled me aside a few weeks into summer training and told me he believed I had the potential to be great. I had never heard that message before, and I didn't believe he truly meant it. However, throughout the season, Coach Hip continued to encourage me. As I watched my times drop from race to race, I started to become more self-assured. Without his support, I doubt I would have ever found the confidence needed to be a strong runner. Coach Hip had faith in me when I lacked faith in myself. His confidence in me became my safety net, reminding me that even on my lowest days, there was someone who knew what I was capable of. His unwavering support played a key role in shaping who I've become, and the confidence he instilled in me will stay with me forever. Additionally, the dedication Coach Hip shows to his students and athletes is an attribute most can only hope to replicate within their own lives. In the 9 seasons in which he has coached me, Hip has never attended practice without a plan. During cross country and track, Coach Hip spends hours carefully curating detailed training plans for the week. Every day when athletes walked into practice, they were handed a sheet of paper that outlined our entire workout for that day, complete with a quote on the top that often related to our practice. These training plans are labors of love. It is rare to find a coach willing to commit all the time and effort required to carefully curate workouts to individual athletes, but Coach Hip has never failed to. Even in the classroom, Coach Hip ensured that resources were made available to all of his students. He recorded additional videos of himself covering topics and posted them alongside particularly challenging homework assignments. He chose to make these sacrifices because he truly cares about his students and his athletes. The enthusiasm and diligence he shows in his work every day continue to inspire me, and I can only hope to replicate these admirable qualities in my own life. I'm grateful to have had Coach Hip leading by example, effortlessly displaying his dedication throughout the many seasons he has coached. In addition to his work ethic, one of Coach Hip's most favorable traits is his humor. When Coach Hip is in charge, practices and classes are filled with laughter and spirit. The day my sister left for college, I had cross-country practice at 5 in the morning. I arrived at practice an absolute mess, and I had tears streaming down my face for the majority of my workout. I was running 600-meter repeats, and in between reps, I had to pass by the coaches to get back to the starting line. Every time I passed by Coach Hip, he tried to make me laugh. This is the kind of coach that he is. In moments of doubt, he reminds his athletes of their strength. Whether he is telling us made-up stories, calling us the wrong names, or speaking to us in Spanish, Coach Hip brings light into the lives of every student he interacts with. I have never gone to practice without feeling the effects of Coach Hip's humor. His witty personality allows his leadership to shine through, and he cultivates a more positive team environment, with the atmosphere at practice being filled with joy and levity. In the 9 seasons in which I have been a member of a team coached by Steve Hippenmeyer, I have been endlessly inspired by his dedication and humor. I'm grateful to have received guidance from a truly passionate leader in my most formative years. The lessons of hard work, grit, and determination that I have been taught through his coaching have truly shaped my mindset towards sports and towards life. While instilling these values in his athletes and students, Coach Hip shows full faith in their abilities. He has never given me any indication that I cannot do whatever I set my mind to, a mindset that I will continue to cherish as I enter my senior year of high school, as well as through the rest of my life. Fairmont High School was incredibly fortunate to have him as a coach and a teacher. With generations of students receiving the positive and long-lasting effects of his leadership, I am truly grateful to have experienced Coach Hip's guidance during his last years of coaching. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Hippenmeyer, this year's Medal of Honor recipient. Could you please come up to the stage?
At the beginning of the ceremony, 4 candles were lit to represent the 4 qualities that serve as standards for National Honor Society: character, scholarship, leadership, and service. During the membership selection process, Fairmont staff members nominate candidates they feel best exhibit each of the 4 cornerstone values, and the faculty committee uses this information to select the award recipients. Named the Penny J. Meyer Cornerstone Awards in honor of retired English teacher and NHS advisor Penny Meyer, these awards go to 4 new members in recognition of their exemplary commitment to one of the Society's standards for excellence. New members, please pay close attention as they speak to you about the importance of each ideal. We begin with character. Neela Erling.
Good evening. My name is Neela Erling, and I'm extremely honored to be receiving this award for the Pillar. I've always been a talkative person, and I remember bombarding my parents with questions during car rides when my siblings begged me to please just stop talking. I get my extroverted personality from my mom. She never shies away from a conversation, which can be a blessing or a bit overwhelming. From a young age, my parents taught me to embrace who I am and remind me that the right people will like me for exactly that. But going back to school after COVID, I felt different. I was more hesitant and worried about what others thought of me. I stopped putting myself out there, and I missed the bold, outgoing person I used to be. Although I felt stuck for a while, I've been incredibly fortunate to have people in my life who helped me find my confidence again. Coaches, teammates, teachers, peers, friends, and family. Without their support, I wouldn't be standing here today. Each of these people have shown me something different about what it means to have character. My parents taught me to lead with honesty and respect. My coaches instilled in me the importance of hard work and resilience. My teachers emphasized the value of integrity and responsibility. And my friends show me what it means to be loyal, empathetic, and humble. Character isn't about being perfect. It's about striving every day to be better than you were yesterday. It's about doing the right thing when no one's watching. It's how we treat people when there's nothing to gain. A person of character is consistent. They don't change based on who's around or what's convenient for them. They show respect to everybody and take ownership of their mistakes. They also lift people up rather than pushing them down. Someone with strong character doesn't chase success for themselves, but they care about helping others succeed too. Because at the end of the day, what really matters is the impact we leave behind. It's not about how many trophies we win or how high our GPA is. It's about the kind of person we are to others. Even today, I'm still learning that character is not measured by what you achieve, but by what you give. It's about what you do to build others up, to support, encourage, and inspire them. My freshman year math teacher is someone who truly lives this out. She has spent her career investing in her students, not just to help them succeed academically, but to make them better people. She once told me that your high school years are some of the most influential years of your life. If you don't leave a lasting impact now, you might never get a chance this big. That hit me hard. It made me question how I've been using my time, my words, my actions to make a difference. And I want to ask you the same thing. What are you doing to positively impact those around you? Because the truth is, character isn't about
who you are when things are easy. It's about who you choose to be when it's hard. It's about how you treat people when no one's watching, and whether years from now, someone will remember you not for what you did, but for how you made them feel. So as you walk out of here today, I hope you'll remember this. Your words matter, your actions matter, you matter, and you have the power to make a difference. Let's use that power wisely.
This year, the committee faced an exceptional challenge in selecting a single recipient for the scholarship pillar. The academic achievements of 2 students were so equally outstanding that the committee made the rare and well-deserved decision to honor both individuals with this recognition, Anna Mix and Ben Richter.
We'd like to start by recognizing and thanking all the families and friends gathered here today to celebrate the bright and promising students who sit before us today. We'd like to congratulate our fellow peers here personally, and we're looking forward to working alongside them in the society.
We are incredibly grateful to be recognized for this honor. Each of us would like to share a little bit about what scholarship means to us and how it's affected our lives.
I feel extremely grateful to have been selected as one of the winners for this award, but I don't doubt that many other people could have been chosen in my place. It goes without saying that everyone here has done amazing things in regards to academics, as well as so many other aspects of a student's life. I additionally want to express my gratitude towards all of my teachers and peers who have truly made me who I am today. There are far too many to name, but you've all been extremely influential, and I can't thank you enough. I feel like academics have been a very big part of my life. That much is already clear from the fact that I'm standing here now, but I think it's important to clarify what the word academics actually means. It's associated with grades, yes, but more importantly, it's a reflection of how a person engages with what they're taught and the knowledge that they already have. The numbers are a vague reflection of how well you understand what you're being taught and told to learn, but beyond that, I found it very important to actively engage with it. Pursuing things you're interested in knowing more about, connecting things you've learned to your hobbies or interests, and trying to relate everything to each other are all things that I found to make my experience much less arduous and, at many times, downright enjoyable. Having the desire not just to memorize, but to know has been an invaluable part of my time here. However, discipline is also a large component in this. I've heard many people say that taking hard courses will help teach you time management. And while I'm not refuting that claim, I also think that it leaves out the most important piece of the puzzle, yourself. I've been a pretty big procrastinator for a long time, and I'm not claiming to be beyond that by any means, but the tough classes and workload have pushed me to move forward and stride for longer than I thought I could. That being said, it's taken a lot of willpower to get myself to go for such long periods of time, and I'm definitely still on that journey. If nothing else, filling your schedule will show you how hard you have to work to make things happen. Finally, I just want to reiterate that grades and classes are just a small part of a person. There's so many great journeys and paths that a person can take to accomplish goals or make a difference, and academics is just one of the stepping stones that can lead a person there. And I commend everyone here for being a part of that. Thank you.
I want to thank everyone who has gotten me here today. I wouldn't be nearly the person I am without the people surrounding me. First and foremost, my family has instilled the value of education into my daily life. I had the unique opportunity to see my father graduate from college while simultaneously witnessing my mother's incredible work ethic. My teachers have instilled this same value, but in many different ways. I am grateful to Miss Bennett in elementary school for teaching me to have enthusiasm in everything I do, Mrs. Baltmeyer for teaching me how to be insightful, and Mrs. Johnson for showing me how to cope with adversity. While I don't have the time to address every teacher or person that has made an impact on who I am today, I want it to be known how large an impact these people did have on my life and how I view what scholarship is. All of you before me are incredible students, hence why you're here. Being a scholar is more than just being a good student and getting decent grades. I may get some sighs for saying this, but a wise man, Mr. Lamb, has told me multiple times, it's not about the grades, it's about the learning. Although hearing this statement after getting back a poor grade isn't always desirable, this statement holds true. No one is perfect, nor are you expected to be. Your learning journey isn't always going to be easy. The same will go for your future. It's not going to be a straight path to success. Succeeding does not make you a scholar, but coping with failure does. I'm sure all of us have experienced firsthand how challenging school is during junior year especially. The difference that sets us apart from our peers is our perseverance and resilience in difficult moments. Hopefully, you will all carry this scholarly trait throughout your future. You will make mistakes, so be willing to learn from them. One thing I've personally struggled with academically is comparing my learning journey to others. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of this, but my brother was also recognized for this honor several years ago. I recently watched a video of his speech to brainstorm ideas for my own. Watching this video, I realized I couldn't be more different from my brother. At first, that concerned me because he was such a strong student. However, after more consideration, I realized my learning journey isn't like his or anyone else's. Everyone's journey is different because each of us is truly unique. One thing that sets your learning apart from others is your passion for learning. I encourage each of you, if you haven't already, to find something you're truly passionate about. I know all of you have an incredible work ethic, but finding a true passion will make learning more exciting and enjoyable. Being a scholar is about having eagerness to learn, so ask questions, challenge yourself, and most importantly, don't be afraid to fail. I hope that all of you continue to use your scholarly attributes throughout the rest of your lives to remain lifelong learners. Each of you in this room has such great potential, and I cannot wait to see what you accomplish to better the world around us. Thank you.
For leadership, we have Lena Bascard.
Good evening, everyone. Before anything else, I want to thank everyone who's here tonight. Whether you're a parent, grandparent, a sibling, or just someone showed up to support, your presence means more than you probably realize. When I first started stepping into leadership roles, I'll be honest, I thought it meant always having the perfect plan, saying the right things, and carrying an unshakable confidence. I thought I wasn't allowed to make mistakes or get frustrated when things didn't go the way they were supposed to. But the truth is, that's not how it works. Sometimes leadership means giving a speech with your heart pounding. Sometimes it means holding others accountable when no one else will. And sometimes it just means being the person who says, hey, we've got this, when everyone else feels unsure. One of the most meaningful places I've had the chance to lead is on the basketball court, where I serve as the team captain. Basketball has been one of the most influential parts of my life, and it's taught me what it really means to lead. In sports, leadership is more than just calling plays or scoring points. It's about lifting your teammates up, staying positive when the scoreboard isn't in your favor, and doing the little things no one wants to do. I've learned that being a leader isn't about being the star of the show. It's about making sure everyone around you has the chance to shine. But leadership doesn't end when the game does. The best leaders carry those same qualities into everyday life. Whether it's raising your hand when no one else will, planning school events, or even just taking the time to listen to a peer who's struggling, those small actions matter. In fact, they often make the biggest impact. And if there's one thing I've truly learned over the past few years, it's this. There's no one way to lead. Leadership can be bold and vocal or quiet and consistent. It can look like organizing a school-wide event or just inviting someone to sit with you at lunch. What matters most is that you show up, stay authentic, and use your voice or your actions to make things better for others. To the new NHS inductees, you are all already leaders. You've shown that through your academics, your service, your character, and your commitment. My challenge to you is simple. Keep going. Keep leading in ways that feel real to you. Don't wait for a title or permission. You don't need to be a captain, a president, or a manager to make a difference. Start where you are with what you have. The world needs all kinds of leaders, and I know each and every one of you has what it takes. Thank you to the NHS class of 2025 for making a lasting impact on our school, and congratulations to the class of 2026. I'm excited to learn, serve, and grow with all of you this next year. Let's keep leading with purpose in our extracurriculars, in our schools, and in whatever comes next. Thank you.
And for the Pillar of Service, Vincent Hapner.
Sorry, thank you. In the modern day, service is looked at as doing something for someone else's benefit. This definition is very broad, basic, and undermining of what service truly is. Service is more than that. It is more than what we can even ever be perceived. It fuels our society and the way we live our lives. It is the reason we choose to do so many things, because there is a higher, greater good that we fight for. I have found that working together to build shelves, design a summer camp, gather food to donate, teach how to start a fire, place American flags in front of veterans' graves, and clear out honeysuckle has never just been for one person. All those things have benefited the community or the environment in which it lives. That's what makes service so important. It fuels positive change for everything that surrounds us, for our universe. The more people that serve, the more likely it is that there will be a more noticeable change. But service can come in small, unnoticeable actions. It can help find somebody a Band-Aid. It can come in giving somebody directions. All those little things can change a lot. That person who needed a Band-Aid could have gotten an infection and missed practice without that Band-Aid. They could have missed a game, leading to their team's loss. The person needing directions could have been on their way to perform life-saving surgery. So, when somebody says that these little things matter, take that to heart. The service done to one person can change so much. It's easy to say that it's to that person's benefit, but so many people forget is how much that person can do for others. Giving service to individuals benefits the whole. Giving service to the whole benefits the individual. It's a reversible action that must be treated as such, and both must happen. Whether we believe that idea or not determines how we live our lives, how fulfilling we make our lives, and the measure of the impact of our lives. We fulfill our lives giving back to our community, family, friends, and those who believe in us. So serve an opportunity in the many that you get.
At this time, we proclaim to all in attendance that these candidates have earned membership in the Torch and Keystone chapter of the National Honor Society through their effective demonstration of the 4 values that serve as a standard for the society. Ms. Denslow, Isabel, and Vivian, will you please come forward to present the NHS membership awards?
Neela Erling, Anna.
Please hold the applause until all the names are called.
Anna Mix, Benjamin Richter, Lena Buscard, Vincent Hapner, Anaya Adolph, Isabella Alvarez, Chris Baldetti, Silas Besco, Madeline Blair, Brooke Bomer, Bailey Bowd, Amira Busaha, Ethan Branham, Noel Briones, Sophia Kuvart, Larkin Daly, Emma Deach, Selena Dong, Penelope Goodson, Amira Gritty.
Ethan Griffith, Cassandra Hall, Avery Henderson, Alexis Homan, Baron Ladon, Olivia Mason, Jada Neese, Sawyer Newman, Olivia Ringwald, Preston Satterley, Chris Schaefer, Jaden C., Allison Seeds, Neha Suren Kumar, Miley Tingley, Ella Turton, Lola Turton, Elizabeth Wallingford, Tia Weiss.
It is my pleasure to introduce you to the 2025 NHS membership class.
Hello guys, I am Joseph Brandt, Co-Secretary of NHS. Fairmont's NHS chapter has 3 officer positions: President, Vice President, and Secretary. In our chapter, the new members elect their own officers. NHS officers coordinate the chapter's efforts with service, help members reach their membership goals, and take the lead on the service project. These students must be responsible, organized, and reliable. Will the new students, as voted on by their peers, please step forward as I call your name? We got an envelope. For Secretary, we have Preston Satterley. For Vice President, we have Lena Buscard. And for President, we have Amira Busaha. Thank you.
New officers, you've been duly elected by your peers to assume positions of leadership for our chapter. In accepting these offices, you have indicated your willingness to give the best in time and effort to carry out the principles of the National Honor Society. Yours is an important responsibility as well as a privilege. The world today, as never before, needs faithful and efficient leaders, and your chapter is looking to you to lead its members. With this in view, do you pledge your best efforts to these offices you now accept? If so, new officers, please respond, "We do." We do. All right, you can now go back to your seats.
New inductees, please join me in reciting the National Honor Society pledge found in the back of your program. I pledge to maintain high scholastic standing, to endeavor and intelligently and courageously to be a leader, to give of myself freely in service to others, and to hold as fundamentally unworthy and untarnished character. Prove myself worthy of a place in the National Honor Society.
Please blow out your candles. Thank you for coming to this evening. It has taken the work of many to develop the candidates into the outstanding young men and women you see here tonight. We appreciate you and invite you to celebrate with us now at a dessert reception in the lobby. New members, please remain where you are until we have taken a group picture. Good night.